Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. As everybody knows by now, Batman's family has basically been revealed and put out to the world in a new game called Gotham Knights. And I wanted to do a little commentary because I'm already starting to see a lot of reactions, and it seems like we're forgetting exactly where we started from. First of all, I have to say I'm really excited about all of this. This is kind of pretty cool that we are finally getting something, and it's very, very close to the original rumors that we got regarding a Court of Owls Batman style game. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, it's no longer a Batman game. Some people are saying it's a Batman game or whatever. The truth is, it is a Batman game with all the technical aspects that you can point it to. So we will just say technically, this is still a Batman game because everything that we've seen here so far is very, very close to exactly what we were expecting regarding the Gotham Knights or Court of Owls type deal, where Batman's family goes out to respond to Gotham City and Batman is in trouble. That is exactly what we saw here in the trailer. So for anybody that thinks that Batman is dead, I have to question, the way you're looking at things. Come on now. There is no way the story comes to a full circle or a full arch if Batman is dead. Perhaps he's not going to be a playable character, but I doubt it. I think Batman would definitely be a playable character. He's going to be revealed in an epic way, in my opinion, and you're going to be able to get your hands on like Bruce Wayne himself taking on bad guys once he gets found. Because if you look at the 52 comic that does represent this entire storyline, the one written by Scott Snyder, this is where we always encourage everybody to do their homework so that people are not reacting irrationally. And I'm seeing people saying they're disappointed. The game is not what they wanted. They wanted a Batman game. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for them as a studio to try something new and still pay their homage to Batman, as his own character. I mean, multiple Batman games have been made, and still this is another Batman game because it's all about the Batman. This game is, Batman calling his own family to take on the bad guys. And the very first villain that we're even going to see is a Batman villain, Mr. Freeze. So I don't really understand how fans have abandoned this, purity of what Batman brings to the picture just because expectations do not seem to line up right now. And the truth is, the only information that we have is the only information we can judge things on. We've seen a villain, we've seen the protagonists, we've seen Robin, we've seen Barbara Gordon as Batgirl, we've seen Red Hood, and we've seen Nightwing. These four are going to be most likely our main protagonists, and as well as Alfred, who's going to be there guiding everyone. But think about it. Alfred is in the comics as well and does play an important role with Bruce Wayne and the Court of Owls. So there is no doubt that, if the story wants to come full circle, a lot of people are definitely going to see all of these characters. And so I would say, as my thumbnail and title implies, please calm down. Batman is not dead yet. I mean, it just says if you see this message, it means that I'm dead. That's all it says. Now, that message could have also been triggered because Batman, according to the comics, is missing. So I think there are so many things that many are putting aside and forgetting. Now, when it comes to the gameplay and what we've seen, there were a little bit of, in my opinion, there was a little bit of surprise to me that some of the things from the old Arkham games didn't seem to, line up here. Now, what are those things? Well, sound and, the way the game from Arkham Origins was. Now, think about it. They've been developing this game, for about 7 years. So I'm not surprised that the technology or the way the game looks is not too impressive. I don't know where they got the footage from. I don't know if they captured it on like a console or on a PC, but this is very, very rough footage. Now, many people will say, well, how do we know that the game is not going to play like this or it's going to stink when it releases? I have a very fun example for you guys. If you look at even Marvel's Avengers right now, from the first closed beta even to the open beta, the way they've been deploying that, that package, the game has actually improved. I've been playing the game every beta on my PC, and I've actually seen a lot of improvements. In fact, I'm going to be making a video about it on my other channel where I cover it because the frame rates and the stability of the game has actually become way better in my opinion. And so you can always patch these games to work on hardware very well. It takes a lot of hard work. It's not impossible to do. And the date for 2021 should give you a lot more confidence in this team, at least give them the benefit of the doubt. So before we jump in on the negativity and everything, we need to focus on the positivity. The positive sides are, one, we already got an announcement. Two, we already know exactly what the game is. Three, we know that it's following a storyline that we can go back and verify, allude to, and try to kind of pick and figure out exactly where we think the story could go, or even different ways they could try to retell or rebrand or reshape the story. And all the surprises that we're basically feeling are, I think, are just based on a lot of anxiety and a lot of expectations that people had that it was going to be a Batman game. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's a Batman game. No one is going to throw Batman away for something. I think this is just a way for them to have a unique pitch in order for them to have their own game. Rocksteady has done justice with Batman. They've also been judged in light of doing Batman and not doing it Rocksteady's way. So I think they wanted to go their own direction. I think they wanted to take things, and make them make things what they are. I mean, if you look, you even see Mr. Freeze, which is very in tune with that same comic. You need to check out this particular 52 comic. I'm going to put a link in the description on where to find it. You can get a subscription on, I think, Comixology, free subscription if you've never gotten it before. And you can read this comic for free if you really want to see where the story is going. So a lot of this is information. The true fans kind of know exactly what this is, and I think what is going on is, we'll have to kind of figure out everything as we go on. Now, the RPG element of the gameplay, that's the one that I think many players might not be necessarily happy with, but I think there is a valid or possible explanation. And the possible explanation is that this game is designed for replayability. Now, if you go back a few months ago, probably 5 months ago, I made a series of videos looking at the job descriptions that were listed in Warner Brothers Montreal. It was kind of hidden. They just put Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And the job description said they were looking for a community manager that was going to be able to get fans excited about an upcoming game in order for them to be able to log in daily, in order for them to be able to come into the game and participate in events and all that stuff. So the ongoing nature of this game is already at the forefront. They're showing it to you right here from the gameplay. They're showing it to you right here from, everything that they're delivering to you, and even from the multiplayer, functionality. I mean, think about it. Who else made multiplayer mode in a Batman game the last generation? It was Warner Brothers Games Montreal. So we should not be worried, or we should not be surprised about everything once we put things in context. And so I would just encourage the community to just hold off. More information, I think, is going to start to trickle down, and people are going to get a little bit more comfortable about what this game is. And, in light of everybody judging Marvel Avengers so harshly, as a Batman DC fan, I did not judge that game as harsh as many other people did. It's quite interesting to see that the RPG-esque nature of a lot of these games is now starting to take front and center. This is the future of gaming, because many of us still need to figure this out. We're no longer 12, 13, 15-year-olds. We're adults, and this is what video games is about. Video games are about a business, and I'm sorry that it may not meet everybody's expectations. I'm apologizing on behalf of whoever wants an apology, but the truth is, this is what we're going to keep seeing, because think about it. The developers who've played these games, who've made these games, have spent time and have spent years working on these and have cost the companies money in compensation. To get a developer, to get designers are not cheap. Many of those roles go for, thousands of dollars annually when it comes to salary and benefits. And so they're going to find ways to constantly monetize these kinds of games. And so we're going to see it in Avengers, and even with the multiplayer in Gotham Knights, we're also going to see most likely those kinds of practices. So it's going to be something that you either have to reconcile with or close your wallet. And I would say if you can't reconcile with it, then definitely closing your wallet might be the very best way to go. But I would not close my wallet yet until I get all my information first, because this game seems like it's shaping up to be a really solid game. Honestly, you have to calm down. Yeah, it's pre-alpha footage for a game that's at least 7 months away, if not even more. And so we really need to kind of look and say, okay, what kind of game are we looking at? Are we going to be, able to accept it? It has everything that the other Batman games have so far, and even a little bit more. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I'm a fan. I mean, I'm even excited for the Marvel Avengers family too, even though their game may not have met all their, expectations, but it is what fandom is about. They are providing that fandom to go with a comic-based, storyline for their own fans and their audience. So we're going to talk about this for a few months. Hopefully Suicide Squad, will be a little different and unique in its own sense. So we're waiting, and we'll see all that information once it comes out. I am very excited to be a part of this community. I'm excited that you guys are part of, even this channel and watch my videos and discuss these topics. I'm super excited. But for anybody that's going to tell me in the comment section that it's not a Batman game, I'm going to smile and say, well, it's a game written around a Batman 52 comic. How is that not a Batman game? It just has a different brand just to set it apart. But I think most likely Batman is the papa here and he's the dad. So if you ask all these kids here showing up, Robin and Batgirl, who's your daddy? It's Batman. Bruce Wayne's their dad. Okay, take it easy, and I'll see you hopefully in another video. Peace out.